I do got the oh, y'all don't? I mean, y'all got the
What?
Real on the Hill?
Yeah,
Okay, I
We do.
we sure do.
Y'all done had a whole episode.
Exactly. It was good too, because I was like, wait
Mm-hmm.
a minute now. Y'all a
Mm-hmm.
little bit too hype without us.
I said, y'all some real yappers when we ain't on here.
Talking about, yeah, they real headstrong. Yeah, but we love them though. Yeah, fix it up nice with some icing.
Mm-hmm.
Well, y'all, welcome to City on the Hill. Welcome back. It's Tuesday. Y'all already know what it is. Yes, we are Chessy Cats today. We are having fun. We are living life. And first of all, we like to say thank you for pushing that like, share, and commenting,
Thank
and
y'all.
just giving us a thumbs up, a heart, what Javaris is saying. And thank you for your interaction, your support, and your love that y'all are doing. I'm Fran Jones, and this is my handsome husband.
Javaris Jones, Coach Jones.
What's up, y'all? I'm Ella, and this is
Pat. Pat the
And we
Frat.
are
Pat the
City
Frat.
on the
Pat the
Hill.
Frat.
Shout out to the guys last week. Y'all did a great job
Wonderful
without us there,
episode.
allowing us to rest. And y'all did a good job. I was
Mm-hmm.
very intrigued.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shout out to my Aaron, Patrick Norris. I'm Pat. You did your thing, boy. You did your thing, boy. All right,
Hey,
I'm done.
that's
Yeah.
you, man.
I was pleasantly not surprised, but I was happy as a woman listener to listen to y'all men yap a little bit. And it wasn't pointless yap. It was like really
Hey,
good. It was real solid.
But it's us. It's me and Pat. Y'all know y'all husbands.
but y'all did
We
good, baby.
That we do. Yeah.
subs.
It was real good,
Just
though. Even
telling
when
you.
y'all got deep, deep, I was like, wait a
Mm-hmm.
minute, where this going at?
Mm-hmm.
I'm
August.
be
6 months
quiet.
of bliss. 6 months of bliss.
Sports.
Football season.
Yeah.
So
Anyway,
I'm
anyway.
Make sure you reach out to us on all social media platforms, Instagram, Facebook.
Not all. Let's
Not
be
all.
specific.
Most of them.
We selective on where
two.
we at.
Okay. Instagram,
It's two
of
of
course,
them.
and Facebook.
That's it, babe.
All right.
You
That's
got it.
it.
Okay, so today is a day of dedication and honoring of the men because by the time you all see this, Father's Day will have come and gone. But this episode is dedicated to all the fathers, all those who bear that title. We want to honor you, particularly the two men that you see in front of you, Patrick Norris, my boo.
And
Okay.
Javaris Jones.
We really do. Like, let me say this as a wife, as the woman who was able to bring your children into this world.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I really, really, really have to say that I appreciate you. I love you. I think you're an excellent father. And yeah, I do. All the things.
No. I appreciate you. Thank you for that. I really do.
You're
I really do.
welcome. Okay. All right. So just to say that, friend, I don't want to, you go make this quick dedication to your boo.
Do mine up at the end.
Okay.
Y'all know this is a real important episode if I like really wrote down some notes. Okay, let's get into it. Real on the hill. Okay, so women, we often hold this notorious title of being stuck in a comparison trap. We compare. We do that. My question to you all as fathers, do y'all ever get caught in a comparison trap? Do you ever find yourself comparing your fatherly skills, your leadership skills, any other thing that you can think of in that realm? Do you find yourselves comparing to any other men in your life or even those that you don't know?
Hey, you want to go? You want me to go?
You go first. It's good.
Yeah. Well, yes, and I don't want to speak for all men. I do. I naturally do that because I'm competitive and all that. But I do compare. I'll be honest with you. I've compared myself to Pat a lot, especially well overall from a husband and a father standpoint. Because Pat is very. He's a servant. He is like very supportive externally. He shows like his care. I care. I love you. I love the kids. But there are times where my first thought is what's right or correcting what's wrong versus how do I support my wife? How do I support my kids in this specific moment, especially when like conversation around people or whatever. And I've actually, I don't know if I ever said that, Pat. I actually be watching you and then my other best friend, because y'all have similar personalities, very delicate
Hmm.
and servant to their spouses and their children. I can be delicate, but it's usually up here. I haven't made it a priority, but because of y'all, I have been like, okay, I ain't saying I'm like, what would Pat do? Like one of them, what would Jesus do bracelets? But there have been times it was like, all right, let me take on some of those characteristics.
Disclosure, he don't be over here hollering at me or nothing like
Nah,
that. Just to let y'all know, because I'm gonna shut down them thoughts right now. I
oh,
bind them
Do
up,
it.
wrap it up,
Hmm.
yeah.
and that's it.
No,
Shut
no,
it
no,
down.
no, no, no.
Mm,
Thank you,
that's
thank
right.
you.
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Like covering, like if because we have different personalities, if my wife does something that does not align with my personality, my first thought is that's not always good.
Hmm.
Even though you don't
Yeah.
mean nothing by it, how does
Yeah.
that make her feel? So that's what I'm saying. Pat is always cognizant, at least, and you've seen him a lot, very cognizant of that, especially in front of people. And that
Hmm.
is like, that is good. And with children and all that stuff. So,
Well, I can say that about you, sir. I do compare a lot more, admire other men. But I do be looking at you, man, because like you said, we are opposite personalities. I've told you this before, like you're serious, and that's something that I am. It's not a bad thing. In this way, it's positive, because when you want certain stuff or certain things you trying to get done in a particular order in a particular time frame, you try to stick with that. That's something that I'll be like, man, he's like, you're serious. This is a positive. And even like with conversations and stuff like that, you'll go deep dive in the abyss, and I'd be like, man, where he pulled that from? But it'd be good. But it'd be good stuff. So it's like at the same time I'm learning and trying to understand certain stuff. And then like even like some of our like me and Ella's conversations lately, they've been a lot more deeper. Like we just had one right before we came in here. And what I noticed is for myself is getting more involved, not just letting her just speak and say whatever she want to say, and I just be like, No, just being like, no, I'm trying to also engage in the conversation too. I want you to understand what I'm saying, and then even if we may have some differences, we can actually learn from that and be like, oh, okay, I get it. But I mentioned him, my mentor, Clint Laurie. He's never had children, but he's been a part of my life since I was like 13, 14 years old. Looking at the way he moves, looking at the way he do certain things, I think is dope. A friend of ours, the Balls, Rochelle and Tim. Tim is actually in the Air Force as well. Seeing him, having conversation with him, he's a good dude, and I see how he interact with his kids when they were little, even now when they are teenagers and everything. And I'm for one more. My little brother, my big little brother Levon, and they got a daughter, and how he like willingly just love his daughter just through the moon and back. Like he be getting on her, but then he'll wrap her up real good, real tight and say like I love you, but He get on her and then wrap up like, come on, baby, I forgive you. But he loves that little girl. Like he loves her. And I think seeing how he interact and some of the things that, he went through and whatnot, it's good that to see how he is, especially when he acting towards his family.
Okay. Mm.
That's all I got.
That's all y'all got?
That's all we got.
Yeah.
Okay.
Next question.
All right. So it's a two-part question. So I'm reading our notes, so we came prepared.
Mm-hmm.
What are some disturbing or divisive myths currently circulating in the culture or of society regarding fathers that you want to challenge and debunk?
That we're not there for our families.
In what way?
Well, that's what I was about.
It's not all of us. There's still some good men out there that are family oriented, that wants to do this the right way. There are men out there who you may think that they don't have it all together, but they are absolutely trying their dangest to make sure that even if it didn't work out with him and the mother, that he is actually there for his children and want to make sure, like, hey, I want you to have the best. I want you to be better than me. I want to pour into you my blood, sweat, and tears, any knowledge that I can give you, any mistakes that I've done that you would know, like, please don't go this way towards your life. That there are men that are in committed relationships who are just as committed to their spouse as their spouse is committed to him. You know what I'm saying? And another myth that all men don't cheat.
Okay.
Let's stop that. All men do not cheat. Some do, not all of us do not cheat. That's my last.
Okay. And you said about fatherhood or just men in general?
Fatherhood.
Okay. No. I just want to make sure because I got a lot.
I hope I stayed on the subject. Yeah.
I was no, you good.
That was a touchy one for you then.
Yeah,
Because you had to drop that.
Stop like that, man.
I was about to say something, but I ain't gonna even say that. Let me stay focused right here.
So the myth to debunk, I kind of what Pat was saying brought up this thought. There's a myth, and it's been prevalent through social media and a lot of stuff that you see on social media. Men don't care. That myth, that thought, just because a man does not respond in the way that women society deems they should, does not mean he doesn't care. Men got feelings and we got minds. And a lot of times as a father, since we're speaking just fathers, the amount of thoughts and that we have towards our children, whether we involved, not involved, the best fathers, not the best fathers, there is a lot of thought that goes into, like Pat said, how do I lead, raise, whatever, make this child better than I am? And a lot of times, kind of going back to last week's episode, the dudes is doing the best they can. They just don't know whether they had a roadmap or they didn't. So that thought of, you don't care, is one that I will always fight against because the people are usually saying that haven't spoken to the guys. And the other myth, I'll say this, our generation, we understand, but this younger generation, at least from what I've seen, they involve with their children like a lot.
Yeah.
Sometimes to a fault, in my opinion. Like, you gotta let them grow and make mistakes. I just feel like that is something that doesn't get highlighted as much as the opposite. And I do think, somebody will fact check me, but I do think the number of complete households or involved fathers has actually increased over the last 2 decades. There's like statistics that show that. So yeah.
I can say, like, when I was growing up, and because my mom and my dad were divorced, oftentimes people who would have commentary about our family or whatnot, they would say, oh, your mom did such a good job, your mom did so good, your mom did great, because she was the primary parent, right? We lived with her, all of that. And yeah, my mom did carry the brunt of the burden of raising us day in and day out. But I often cringe at the idea that my father is discredited because he wasn't in the home, and they don't realize, or they cannot compute that I've always had his phone number. I always knew where he was. And if I called, he would come. If he wasn't living out of town, he was readily available to us. And so, yes, when you come from a broken home, there is some distance between your parents. It's not an everyday thing like how our children get to enjoy seeing both of their parents day in and day out. No, it's not that. But I like that both of y'all debunk the myth of they're not there or they don't care, because now hearing that, I can understand why my dad used to say there's so many times that you don't know I cried because I wasn't with y'all, or how many times I thought about y'all. And for us, because he was not in the home, it's hard to see that, even for the child to understand that, because we equate your care and your concern with actually physically being there. But like y'all said, y'all have emotions and y'all care far more than what people can actually see. And I think that that can be attributed to the fact that men oftentimes hide their emotions. So I cannot count the number of times I even saw my dad cry. Maybe that can be attributed to that you don't even feel safe all the time to express your emotions. Maybe sometimes the women in your lives didn't give you an opportunity to land safely where you could express yourself. So I like that y'all said that, because I think it opens the door for deeper conversation where we as women, as a collective, can hear y'all's hearts a lot more, which is why I really do like y'all episode, because we got to hear things that came from your heart, things that you wouldn't readily share in any other forum, versus y'all being together and you all having this brother to brother conversation. So, yeah.
I mean, heart is sacred. It's like it's not like you got all dang near all of me, and it's like, man,
I was gonna
why
say,
would
does
you
that
do
make
that?
y'all fragile?
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, it does because we're vulnerable.
Mm-hmm.
I'll say this. I know we probably got to move on, but that's why the misnomers and the myths, the things that aren't true when they're said, you see some dudes get belligerent, maybe not violent, right? But here we go. The manosphere, right? Even though it's wrong, it was birthed out of our voice needs to be heard because we're tired of it seeming like whatever. Now that's a negative response, but it came from something. And so when that's all I'll say, and I know that kind of goes away from fatherhood, but it's involved. So when the heart is open, when the man is actually like, I'm putting all, whether I'm in the house or not, and things are said, whether it's from people, whether, and sometimes you talk about comparison, we're comparing ourselves to what we think is the right thing. So when we don't meet it, that's another voice, which is your voice saying something. So now when you get it from the outside and you get it from the inside, now it's like you see you have a number of responses to that.
Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Ella, One Fourth City on the Hill. I hope that you are enjoying this current episode. Make sure you drop a comment and engage with us. We would love that. I wanted to stop this episode just for a second to let you know that we do have a merch store, and it is full of items adorned with the City on the Hill logo. Just know when you're shopping this merch store, you are helping us as City on the Hill continue to creatively spread and disperse the word of God to all those that will hear. So we appreciate you. We love you. May God bless you in advance for your efforts to shop this merch store. You can find the link to our merch store in the description within our channel. And again, we love you. God bless you for it. Now let's get back to today's episode. Bye. Okay.
Okay.
We're gonna exit out of Real on the Hill. Today's topic is in other shoes. And of course, like I said before, we are intentionally taking this time in this episode to honor men who bear the title of father. So with that being said, the men that walked before you, they walked before you. They wore those shoes. Those men who walked before you and whose shoulders you now stand on. Who are they, and what does that? How has that shaped your role as a father?
Dang, we finna be all right. I guess I'll start with who I should start with, and that's Antonio Stark. And it's my biological father, my real father. And I've said a couple times on the episode of my father not being involved. I wanted to make it clear, and I didn't find out until a couple years ago. As many what we perceive as mistakes, and they were mistakes because of what he did or did not do. He did the best he could with what he knew. He wasn't, in my life consistently, but we had a conversation a couple years ago, and I asked him I shared what I felt and my thoughts, which is, that's private. But as we have been in contact, and it's not every day, it's not every week, but we're in contact. I have learned that he is like me in the sense of thinking constantly. I always thought I was like my mama because that's all I knew. But and I'm definitely like my mom. But there is a lot that comes from him. But the reason why I bring up we think a lot is because the reasons why he made or did not make certain decisions was because he was in thought, was because he, you know, was maybe immature in certain areas, but it wasn't just like what I perceived was I just don't care. Nah, he cared. He just made the wrong choices or talked about comparison. He felt that he could not do certain things. And so people have different responses. Whether people agree with it or not, that is the way that he saw things. And so, just for privacy's sake, I will say that's my father, right? And I would have never said that before 2 years ago. She knows it was always Tony. Like, but he ain't a bad dude. Even though certain decisions he have made in the past have not been the best, he's not a bad dude. And so I have to start with him because without him, I don't have life. And I don't have a part of who I am. The other person I would say, there's like two more people, but the man that I have the last name of, and I hope my mom don't get upset, but I don't have the last name of my mom. I don't have the last name of my real father. I wish I was named after my real father because I would have been Tony Stark the second. And Iron Man is my favorite character. So there we go. That would have been cool. I wish I'd have had that. Other than that, I'm straight. But my last name is Jones, right? I got that from a man who stepped in when my mom was teenage pregnancy in high school, and he stepped in. And it wasn't even on no, hey, I'm trying to get with you. It was like, I'm here to support. And the from what I know of the story, everybody has good things to say about him. I've seen the dude probably twice because I was young, so I don't remember. But everybody from that time, and you talk about him, it's like he was just a good dude. The fact that I bear the last name of a guy who stepped in, who is known as a good dude, and I didn't really think about it until I'm saying it now. He's worthy of honor. The same way my real father is worthy of honor because he did the best he could. That man stepped in and did what God appointed him to do, is to help your friend, help this lady. And they were dating. So it wasn't just some random dude, but help and to be characterized as that's a good guy. So yeah, he's worthy of honor. And then the one I call Pop is Philip Brown, my sister's dad, both of my sister's dad. He's the one that I have had the closest relationship to. I call him my spiritual father. I don't have many mentors, but I consider him my mentor. I cherish his opinion. I cherish his words. That's who he is. And he tells me this. He says, I'm a better man than him. Kind of Pat, like you said, like you always want your children to be better than you. When the book released and he bought and he read it and we talked and he was just like, man, I'm so proud of you. And for him to say it means more than just random people because his opinion matters. He's very strict, very structured, didn't play the radio, but there I always felt love. And that's what's ironic because when I used to tell her with our kids, but especially my oldest, like why he always being around me? Why he want to mess with the dragon, knowing I'm gonna find something. But I had to learn like he knows you love him, and that's how I felt and still feel with Philip Brown with Pop. So those are the men that I will highlight. And honestly, just out of respect, I would say Ray Cummins throughout, my high school years, my eighth grade year and then my high school years. He was stable in regards to he did what he needed to do, take care of family, a blended family and all that. So, but yeah, those four men, definitely Philip is the one that I look to.
I mean, mine's very quick. I already mentioned my mentor, Clint Lowry, and great guy. Been knowing him since I was 13 and everything. Been with me from my high school years to my college years, even to this journey where I am now. Manhood and fatherhood. Reach out to him if I have an issue or have a question. I'll reach out to him. So big shout out to him. So everybody knows, never met my father. I want to give honor to him. This is the first time ever did this. I want to give honor to him. Don't know his background, don't know his story, but I want to give honor to him because, of course, he was the one that actually, the other half that created me. And I thank the Lord for him because you may not had a Pat Norris and everything. So I want to give him his flowers and give him his acknowledgement. Two people together, Claude Jones and Clarence Norris. Clarence Norris, grandfather, biological grandfather, my mom's father, and Clint and Claude Jones, who is my grandmother's current husband. Been married for over 55, almost 60 years now. All actually lost his son. And so to be able to get to know him, get to know his work ethic, listen to certain conversations with him and everything is rewarding. I started living with my grandmother when I was a teenager. Listening to him, being with him installing some sound advice to me, I think it's worth it. My granddaddy, I call him the best granddaddy in the whole wide world.
He is.
Very humble guy. He is even keeled. Y'all know him. He is so even keeled. Very cool guy. He just want everybody just to be good. Been a bricklayer for the last, matter of fact, I just talked to him yesterday. He had a little job and he's an old, like when I say a bricklayer, he's like old school bricklayer. Like from the foundation up, taught me some real good work ethic, how to work with your hands. One of the things he'll say, you beat the work, don't let the work beat you. Understanding him and learning from him a lot, listening to him. It's certain situations that he could have made certain decisions and he could have went a different route. But I'm kind of glad the route that he did go through, it actually was rewarding. And, without him, of course it wouldn't be my mom. And listening to him, he's a really, like, he's one of those guys that you really truly, like, you just sit down, you just talk to him, you just have laughs and stuff like that. Love him. And I want to give shout out to George Lavon Watson, which is my brother's father. I want to give him his flowers due to the fact he did not have to marry my mom. He didn't have to, but he decided to be with my mom. While, if I'm not mistaken, I think she was still she was pregnant with me. Is either right when she had me or still pregnant with me. But he didn't have to be with my mother. But he took the responsibility to say, you know what, you're my son. You're my son. Things weren't all peaches and cream, but growing up now, having my own family, I see certain things that's different about him. Like, he's in his 60s now, so almost 70. He's in some things like he sent cards, birthday cards, Mother Day's cards. He gives the kid. We don't celebrate Easter, but he send the kids candy. He do birthday cards and all of that. And to see that from him and his heart just kind of change and certain things, it's like, man, dang, this ain't the pop I had. but I'm glad where he is now because he do say certain things like, Pat, I'm proud of you. He didn't growing up. It wasn't like that, but he says that now. I'll tell you a quick story. He came down here for my son's birthday recently. I gave him a watch years ago, and something was broke on it. I think it was the handle, the screw part, and never got it fixed. I never got it fixed. So he came here this past April and came here. We went bowling, had a good time. Right before he left, I said, "Hey, Pop, come in my room." And I was like, "Hey, Pop, I had a watch. I just got it. I didn't wear it for a long time, but got a watch." I was like, "Hey, put this on," and he put it on. He was like, "Yeah, yeah, I like this song." I was like, "Yeah, you like it?" And he's like, "Yeah, it's yours." He was like, "What?" It's like, "It's yours." And he just started crying, and he gave me a big hug. He was like, "Man, Pat, I love you." So certain stuff like that, it's like really heartwarming to see my pops do that. Those are the men that I can think of right now.
Okay. All right. Y'all got some deep
Mm.
things going on here. We're gonna lighten it up a little bit, We're gonna
Okay,
lighten
go
it up.
ahead.
Yeah.
Because I'm ready for one good question, which I
So,
think is a riffraff.
as a father, now this question is off the seat of my pants because y'all know me. I like structure, but don't give me too much. I love my sister because she did a great job. But to the fun. See, you have 3 kids, all in different ages, and then you have 2 kids, Pat. Each of your kids, I want to know a most memorable memory that you have of them where y'all both are just like laughing uncontrollably.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Go. Oh, okay. So, okay, we still do it to this day. I actually started with Mackenzie. We was in Hiram and just doing some wrestling and stuff. And so we got this thing called Big Fish. And so we wrestling. So I'm actually getting them like wrestling with them like I'm caught a big fish in a I don't know why. Like I catched it, caught a big fish. I'm wrestling with him. It's a whopper. it's, it's,
Oh man.
it's a whopper. So, so I started with that with Mackenzie. She
Okay.
used to love it. She loved it. She used to love it. And I think I did it recently and they like, "Dad, please don't." But they played with me. They played with me
Every
though.
time,
See how
every
good
time they do
that.
that, that means they like it. They just
They
don't
like
love.
it every time. Big fish. Oh, it's a whopper. It's a shark. And that's with Mackenzie, and I do it with Man. But I think with Man, I think we had a moment. I got his hair cut. He was a little dude. Got his hair cut, and I was telling him we after we do this ice grill. So I told him do like this mean mug face like this. Like yeah, he did. So that was kind of some fun stuff that we did together, and we do like some family shenanigans and stuff like that. That was when we was younger and stuff. So that was kind
Mm.
of cool.
Or when y'all make little handshakes and y'all leave me out,
No,
like
that's your
each of them
problem.
got
That's
their
you.
own
No,
signature.
that was you. You.
Y'all left me
I
out.
participated. You need to do it.
You told me to make my own.
No, I did. I said you got to come up with something, and you was doing some crazy mama stuff. I was like, that's weird. Don't do that.
Oh,
Crazy mama
your
stuff. Like
your big
it
fish
was
is on
just,
a
it was
pop
like
pop vibe.
it was like tiddly tiddly tiddly. No, no, no. No, I'm afraid. I'm serious. It was like she was trying to do something. I'm like, don't do that. That's
Hella.
nobody gonna do that. See, you see how whack that is. Tiddly tiddly
Don't worry
tiddly.
about it. We gonna get out.
That's fine. I just high five. I'ma just high five.
I actually, as I sat and thought, there was a lot. So people don't know. I don't even think y'all have seen me like in my silly moment. I do have that side, and you got to catch me at the right time. But it's always memorable, especially when they laugh. So I got one for each of them. I'll make them quick, and then I got one combined. with Bryden, we were in Donsenberg, well, in Germany. She had a procedure, so she was upstairs recovering, and so it was me and the kids downstairs. Bryden is 1, Irvin's in 8th grade, and Jada's in kindergarten, 1st grade. So we down there, and for whatever reason, we were playing, which ain't normal, but we was playing. I was recording. Bryden was by a fan, like one of those fans that turn, like the
tower.
There we go. The tower that just turned. But it was broke from the move, but you can still stand it and it'll just turn a little bit. Anyways, so this boy she knows that what I'm talking about. This boy goes up to the fan and it was hot because it's in the summertime. And he just in front of it. And Bryden was especially as a babe silly. So he'll get up there and he was like that and he'll look. And so we're laughing, me, Jada, and Irvin laughing. And he kept doing it. I was like, Bryden, you gonna hit your head. You better stop. He did it like 3 times. And that 3rd time you heard clump. And he said, and everybody died laughing. And once you laughing, he trying to laugh. We was in there rolling.
That was so funny. My headphones came on. They came on.
I'm gonna have to send y'all that video. That joke is so funny. With Jada, she has my humor, in the sense of like words, but noises or whatever. And so, we was watching Pokemon. Dang, this was in Germany too. But we were in the actually getting ready to come back over here in a little hotel, and we were watching Pokemon, and there was an episode, at the beginning, they always say something before the episode, but they was like, how to catch a Pokemon smuggler. But I was like, how to catch a Pokemon smuggler. And when I did that, she fell out. But she was like, it's funny, but you said it wrong. And that's all I needed. So I just kept saying it, smuggler. And so and even now, if I say it, she'll be like, that's not right. That's not what you said. So I was like, hey, you smiling, so we finna run with it. And with Irvin, he'll know what I'm talking about. So dang, everything happened when we moving. We was in California around 2009, 2010. And Jada was a baby. But we used to watch the Disney XD together. And Static Shock used to come on. In the theme, they had every Marvel, whatever superhero show has a theme, right? But it will be like, gotta beat, gotta beat. And we both was just like, that was just hilarious. Random, small detail. And so I used to be like, gotta beat, gotta beat. And we would just be rolling. So it's like little stuff like that. And I'm like, once they laugh, and I'm in a playful mood, I'm like, memory lock it. So even now, as a 23-year-old man, if I say gotta beat, he'll say it.
But see, in our house, like the joke always on me.
Cause she don't be knowing.
They just always make a joke, and they think whatever he say be funny, and I be like,
I want to laugh.
No, I don't. It be on me. Like I be the joke. So I don't.
You don't be the joke. You just be out of it, and then you'll say something, and it'll be like, nah.
So I be,
it don't hit the same.
Michael Jackson over here, you are not alone. I be alone.
She'll be alone.
My God.
But
we get left out of stuff.
It just be the right moment, y'all.
Yeah.
I be thinking I'm a comedian, and they be like,
and that's what I don't be. That's the thing. You be trying to be. I don't be trying to be. And then it just be like, and you're always lively. I'm not always lively. So when I do it, it's like they just like, oh, Dad is being funny.
They used to him not being like we said. Yeah. Y'all make it, I know it's a heavy weight, but y'all really do make it look fun. Like, we have different parenting styles. Javaris is a talker. I'm more so of like, come on, baby. Like, you know.
No, let's say it right. I nitpick.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say something about everything.
I'm not a nitpicker, but like with the kids, they know, and they say that like mama is either 0 or 10, and daddy is just like. So if I'm at a 10, they know that I'm gonna get you for the old and the new. I'm gonna remember all the way back there because I didn't say anything. But daddy's, he gonna be like, okay, I just told you to do this. So they're used to it. Yeah, like that right there.
Bodies on the floor.
Hey,
And after 18 years, I'm still like, it still
yo,
does something to me. But just as a father, a child knows their father's voice. And I was thinking about you all because God gives us these gifts. They are gifts from him. And how we steward over them is very important and not to be taken lightly. So their human interaction with you all as their father dictates their spiritual action with God. And I don't know if people think about it that way, of how you respond to God, and your reverence for God is more than likely how you honor and reverence your dad. And I had to look at this. No parent is perfect. No parent does anything. But I can say, as for me and watching, because I had to think about that when you told me something. You said you just have this radical faith, like you just bold with it. And I had to think about the interactions that I have with my dad and how bold I am with him, and how not only that, I just knew and had this confidence, you gonna get it done. Might not like it. It might not go my way, but I knew what needed to be done was gonna get done. So it cultivate my relationship spiritually with my heavenly Father. Watching you all, especially with I know we say our daughters, but especially with the boys, because it's something to be said for a man child to have a relationship with their father and to have a spiritual father that they have a relationship with, but watching them grow in their walk. And it's funny, I texted to Ella, it was something last minute, but I'm gonna try not to cry because I'm gonna tell you something from each child that I see. And Ella's gonna probably piggyback to do it for Pat, for her 2 children. But their relationship with you is the same as it is with God, as I see it as a mother. When Bryden is listening to you, when y'all reading Samuel, and he that child can dissect the word of God without even studying it, but can have a full conversation with his father, and is very inquisitive and will ask questions and think about things that you wouldn't think about when you're reading it. And when I hear his prayers, it's the same way he talked to God. How I just see Irvin with this, I'm just gonna trust God. He may see it from me, but I'm gonna trust this God because he was consistent. I'm going to trust this God because he's faithful. I'm going to trust this God because that's what I'm going to do. And in the midst of our 23-year-old's conversation, he will say that a lot. I'm just trusting God. I'm just trusting God. How can he know to trust God? The reason why is because he trusts his dad.
yeah.
He has so much faith and so much trust and so much honor. And I just want to get this right for my dad. I just want to, he's always been like that with you. I just want him to see that I'm getting this right. You see this, Pop? You see this? You see me make that shot? Even in the stands, he would hear his father's voice. We have been in stands in Europe where there is close to almost 3,000 people, and Javaris can scream from where he can yell from wherever he is, and he is going to turn around, never mind the coach, and take direction from his father. So he does that with God. And I can say that about him as a man. When God tells Irvin to do something, he don't care about nothing else, about what's going on, your opinion, how you feel. That's my daddy, and I'm listening. He will take that and he will ride with it. So you have instilled that in your children. The way that you parent and the way that they respond to you, it's amazing to see their interaction with you. And with Jada, she is bold. She real bold with it. She is a truth teller. She gonna own up to it. She is gonna take accountability for it. She have so much faith because you have been there constant, because you've never wavered. And the way that they speak about God is all honor to you. They speak not only about their heavenly Father with reverence, they speak about their daddy. They know the ways of their father. They know that their father has their back. They know that their father is going to take care of them, not just financially, but they know that their father is going to go to bat for them and pray for them. They know that, okay, if I need me a word, I'm going to go sit by daddy real quick. What you think about this scripture? How you feel about this right here? And it's nothing that I haven't seen, it's everything that I have seen. So I just want to say to you, as my baby daddy,
Oh man,
I'm just playing, y'all.
man,
You are doing a phenomenal job. There's nothing else to compare to, because you are it. To see, we are now seeing things being walked out in our lives. And you as a man, to say that you are the patriarch of this family, and this is the foundation that we're going to stand on, and these branches will grow out and start their own, and have a foundation that is planted by the rivers of water. God has done a thing, and he did a big one with you, and it is all glory and honor to him. So the things that you may think that you didn't have, God has equipped you with everything you didn't have and has blessed you beyond measure to give. So from your wife, the mother of your children, I want to say thank you. Not for being a man, but being a father. For being a present father. I don't have to call anyone else to pick up the handle for me. We don't have anyone else here. It's us. And I hear people all the time saying, oh, I got to leave work. Oh, I got to do this. And they're like, friend, how do you all do this? Because we work together. And my husband is a present father. They know our kids has a father wherever they go. It ain't just me picking them up. It's you picking them up. Even when Jada trying to make you laugh by putting her locks in a ponytail and then they crooked. But she just doing it because she know you'll do it. So the man who comes into her life, just like the man who came into my life, had to come with a standard, because that's what my dad set for me. And that's definitely what you set for her. You have set the tone. You have set the foundation. And I am so proud of you. You have had your struggles. You have grown, and you still growing. And now you at a different dimension now. So we trying to see where this thing is going. But so far, so good. You done went from Jordans to Asics, New Balances. You know, we get a little older, but that's okay, because God is still holding your hand. And just like God handed you that baton, and you then handed it to our son, who has created his own family, you are doing it. You have done an amazing job, and I love you. And I wouldn't trade you for the world, because nobody else can have you. Ella, while you over there rocking, look at that.
Hey, that was so sweet. He got a coupon. He got a coupon.
Nice.
Yeah, the ones that you pull out of Food Line. You remember when we used to run down the aisle and try to get them? Oh, y'all trying to act like y'all know what I'm talking about.
Y'all ain't see them little coupon
Yes.
guns?
From Save a Lot.
Yes.
Pull as many as you want.
Yes. And your mama be like, why you got all them?
Because we going to need them later.
Yeah.
That's why I got them.
Save them. Put them in that drawer.
Okay. Pat Norris. You know I love you. We kind of talked about this yesterday. But you went from a man that, first of all, I want to shout out your persistence, because I didn't know that that would be something that is a gift to our family. Like, you will persist in the face of a no, rejection, adversity. You are a persistent man. And you went from walking to Kroger and refusing to let me take you to work to being able to say, you stay home and you handle this front and I'll go out there. And it has not been easy for you to take that mantle, but for you to make a decision like that, I think that that was one of the turning points in our relationship. Just me seeing you as a man that is willing to provide. So that's one pillar. You are someone who provides, and it's not just the provision of tangible or material things. You provide safety for me. And the decisions that you have made for our household has allowed me to develop as a wife, as a woman, as a mother. So for that, I thank you, because I don't know if I'm sure I wouldn't be the woman that I am if it weren't for you. I thought about it yesterday. I'm like, most of my life has been spent maturing in this relationship with you. And so I'm grateful that because of who you are, you allow me to be who I am and who God designed me to be. So in that, it's a gift. Our children, Mackenzie, Naomi, Mackenzie finds you to be somebody who is safe. As a young woman, I can't imagine at her age, at 16, how critical that is for her, and to be able to view that father-daughter relationship through her lens. But Mackenzie feels safe with you, and she doesn't just see you as a fixture in the home that's supposed to hand out cash or whatever. But Mackenzie looks for you. She looks for your presence. I think she tracked you more than she tracked me. So Mackenzie, she loves her father and she feels safe with you. And I think that that is one of the most important, if not a key factor in a young girl's life, is to have a man that represents safety and covering for her. So whomever God pairs her with, he gonna have to be right because of the example that you have shown her. Elijah is, you know how we all look at our Heavenly Father and we don't want to disappoint him. When you get to a certain phase, you don't want to disappoint him. Elijah is like that with Pat. He does not want to disappoint you. And when he feels like he has not met a standard in his maleness that he knows that you have talked to him about, you have walked him through, he feels a sense of responsibility to step it up. And I seen that just this morning. I want you to know that what you do works. It is working. And our children, at their own pace, even with their limitations, they show up every day with the intention to say, how can I make my dad proud today? I want to see my dad smile today. And like I said, Mackenzie, definitely, if you're gone all day, they look for you. Elijah came down here today and was like, Ma, you know what time dad coming home? Just because they are safe and comforted by your presence. And that means a lot. So I just want you to know that you matter. You have always mattered in this household. You are an amazing man, an amazing, excellent father. And you have created a space where our home, like you talked about the shingles, no, you have built a home. You have built a home with a secure roof. And what I love about you is when you do see leaks, you will say, let me get to work. Let me fix that. And I appreciate you for that, because you are someone who provides, you protect, and you make sure that there's a sense of permanence where they know my dad is solid. He's going to be here. And I need for you to understand, I want for you to understand how important you are as far as making us feel secure and stable. You have done well. I know you'll continue to do well. And I just pray that God will continue to strengthen you and bless your mind and your spirit so that you can exercise wisdom in everything that you do. I always pray when you leave to go to work that you find favor. Every single day, I might be still in my sleep, but I always ask the Lord to give you favor when you go out here, and that He would bring you back home so that we can love on you, because I know it's hard. But we can love on you, and then you have that strength to go back out there for another day, because you are so consistent in ensuring that we have what we need. But what we need the most out of everything is you. So I love you. I appreciate you. The kids, I know our children adore you to the highest. They adore you. So thank you for being exactly who you are. Thank you for loving us. Thank you for being who you are. Okay.
Hey.
Don't you cry. I didn't even see you.
Ah. You got lipstick. Ah.
No, I'm going to
Yeah.
reprint your coupon.
Ellie, you got anything for Mr. Jones?
Brother, my brother. Listen, since the day that we met, I knew that you were gonna take some time to fully get in there, but I didn't care. I did not care. And I've always felt this sense of kinship, or this kindred feeling towards you as my brother, because you just, I don't know, you just function in that vein. And I have to say that one of the turning points for you is I think when you were here in Savannah, and the children was with you, and the way that they lit up, because they seen you in a whole different light. It was that when they was with you, they had stayed or spent some time with you or whatever, and they were just like, that's my uncle. That's my uncle. That made me feel completely comfortable and secure. And I think we was playing Just Dance.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, oh, we in there. He part of the goof troop. He be trying to play like he not, but he part of the goof troop. It's not just those things, but it is also obviously the more apparent things, like your leadership value, how you structure everything, how you keep my sister in line. But no, you actually, the way that you care for her, the way that you love her, the woman that she is able to be because of you. I think sometimes wives don't, I'm going to say some wives, we don't always express the fact that I get to notion. We get to be exactly who we are because of y'all. And so there are things that are completely visible that God has instilled in you that makes you an important figure in our lives, and my life as your sister, you as my brother. And I just appreciate you. I appreciate the example that you offer to our children, the example that you offer to my husband. I just think that him being connected to you in a lot of ways have made him better. And for that, I am thankful and I appreciate you.
You're welcome. I appreciate it.
All right, I'm gonna make this short and sweet and not be so emotional.
You bet not.
Well, Pat, we share a special date, and
Oh.
you have been just what I needed in a brother, and just what he would have done or said. And sometimes I'm like, We argue like we real brother and sister. But no, you have really been an uncle to our children, especially our oldest. Y'all had y'all little thing, even from the jump, going to get milkshakes and things. We couldn't even afford to be trying to go get milkshakes, y'all.
We didn't say it was expensive.
But no, the kids really do love you. You not just okay, yeah, okay, there to have fun. You have given advice. You have given encouragement. You have chastised. You have prayed over them. You have been there for them. And we appreciate that, to give them that example. So this is normal to them, and not trying to shade anyone or anybody who doesn't understand it, but they see two families together. They see a mom and a dad. They see it. And I can appreciate that, because that's their norm. You are an accountability partner. You are a straight shooter when you want to be. You also are just that guy, just okay, we can do whatever, you know? You can just be. You have the ability to make people just be, without any hesitation, without no questions or anything. And that's why my sister can be just who she is. She can just be. You are her safety. You are her rock. You are the person who she leans on the most. Y'all, I say me and Vars like Velcro. No, y'all got us beat, baby. You ain't got to go with me to get nothing to drink, okay? Don't worry about it. I'm serious, but I'm just playing. I'm going to
Be like, come on, come with me.
Exactly. We need a moment, okay? All right, Kobe. I'm gonna go over here, But no, like y'all, I can say it like honestly, just thank you. Thank you for loving my sister. Thank you for always being there. Thank you for being just who you are. You are much appreciated in our square. You are much appreciated in both families, and we appreciate it. And I definitely appreciate my husband. I just can't say it enough, because it's just one of those things. Like, this ain't normal, as we always say. And I don't take it for granted, and I don't take it lightly that we have the presence of men in our lives.
Yeah.
Just a background, June 30th, 2011 is the same actual day that her brother, Fran's brother, and my mother actually passed on the same exact day. So we always say, like, we was here to put we was meant to be together for some reason. Even though we had significant losses, it actually was a gain, because we actually gained other family.
Yeah.
We always started this before we only knew them a few months when they went to Germany.
I
We
feel like
always
y'all was
from there.
besties first.
Well, no. Let me say that. No.
I just a little more clarity to that. Those two losses happened before we knew each other. So what, 4 years later is when we became family. So I want to say this, because as I was listening, there's a lot of stuff that popped up, but one thing, I know it's true for me. I'm pretty sure it's true for Pat. The journey of fatherhood is one that encompasses manhood. And what I mean by that is it's a journey. And me and Pat didn't always see it. We've seen things. We talked about the men in our life, but a lot of stuff we had to figure out. And it literally came to me as everybody was talking in this episode. Think of a game, a video game, and you start out with nothing, or you start out with limited resources, and then you pick up this thing. And you might know what to do with it, you might not. Or you pick up this thing, or you see it and you're like, all right, cool, I know what to do with that. But then I'm not ready to use that yet. So as I was thinking about it, you would pick up a sword, you pick up a book, you pick up a rope, you pick up a pen, and you're growing. And there are times in our manhood, specifically fatherhood, that you like, I don't know what to do with this. I can't carry the sword. I just have to drag it. The book, I got it, but there's nothing in it. But I'll get the pen later as I keep walking. Or I got a rope. Well, okay, I can play with this rope as a child in the journey, but there's a point where I'm going to need that rope to build something. And I feel like as a father, that's what it feels like at times. You've been a father for 16 years, been a father for 21 total, 22 and a half. And it's not easy, especially when you're like, what do I do with all this? But the way that we have been able to grow into our roles and progress on the journey and get to those checkpoints is the Father. And I'm gonna be clear when I say that. You don't even know he's there sometimes. And then you look back and you're like, look, I'm no longer where I was. And then you see what you've accumulated along the way, from wives to other things, career and all that stuff. But my job is to raise you so you can go on your journey. We walking on our journey together, but Irvin, you're walking on yours. Jada, you will walk on yours. Bryden, you will walk on yours. Mackenzie, you will walk on yours. Elijah, you will walk on yours. But you're following in footsteps now. And mothers nurture, and y'all carry, and y'all do definitely a big job that we have no idea. And I'm just be honest, they started in that seed in us. So from the beginning, God is like, the seed starts with you. Y'all nurture and y'all cultivate. But we have to place the seed. Sometimes you place the seed and you're like, I don't know what to do in this season. And that's what it is. Pat, you're a great father, bro.
You are too, home.
Y'all some good fathers.
Good father.
Good father. He's a good man.
He's a good man.
Everything's so weird.
Listen, okay, y'all, okay, we want to thank y'all for like sharing some of y'all deepest thoughts and emotions with us. I know it is not always easy to expose yourself like that. So we just want to say thank you. I have to give a huge shout out to my father, Vernon Zinnerman Sr. Don't forget the bishop. Okay.
He wants it in there.
He wanted in there now. He said he worked hard.
Bring that word forth, Bishop.
Yes, Bishop. But yeah, my father, and I recently had a conversation with him because it has not been an easy relationship. But like Fran said, when you check your relationship with God, then you can you can find that link between your relationship with God and your relationship with your earthly father or your natural father. And I had to really take the time recently to apologize to him because I wasn't seeing God as my father. And it made it made it easy for me to mishandle my honoring of him. And I had to make that right. So those of you out here, no matter what the strains are, I know that there are some that are extremely difficult. The burden is extremely heavy. But if you have the capacity, and even if you don't, pray for it, but strengthen your relationship with our Heavenly Father, the one that created you, designed you, and knows you best, and ask Him to open a space if your relationship is strained with your natural father, to open that door if it is His will, and walk through it without the pride. Let all of that fall off and walk in love, because I assure you that it is better when you let all of that stuff fall off of you. I wanted to close with this. Proverbs 17:6 says that the pride, this is the latter half of that verse, but it says that the pride or glory of children are their fathers. And this is when it says pride, this is a healthy pride. that instills a sense of esteem and confidence. When you have a good father that is leading you, you have a sense of empowerment. And that is what you all have offered to your children. You can see it. Our children are able to walk tall because of who y'all are and how y'all walk before them. So thank you, all the fathers out there. Thank you. And we hope that you are or were heavily celebrated this Father's Day.
And I like to give a shout out to Deacon Frank Adams. I love him. I'm the baby, so I'm just always be the baby. I can appreciate his presence. I can appreciate who he is, and seeing his story and knowing his story. Just his tenacity, who he is. So I look at his story, just a little backstory. My dad graduated high school in 1969 from the Douglas Anderson School of Arts in Jacksonville. He went through some things, and he's walked out some things, being the one of the four oldest of 12 children. So he's seen a lot, and I can appreciate his story, because sometimes you can't appreciate the story until you've walked through some things. And I can just appreciate some things about him, and I love him dearly.
And at your core, you are daddy's girl. You might not say it, but you are.
I was gonna say the heart of a daddy's girl.
You are too. You are too.
And I is. Thank you so much for tuning in. Make sure that you like, share, and you subscribe to the City OTH channel. We appreciate y'all. Make sure y'all follow us on socials. Love y'all so much. We will catch y'all next time. Bye.
Bye.